Yo guys, what is happening? Welcome back to Rule of Two Review. So admittedly, I am about a week late to the party on this topic, but I still felt that it was really exciting and something that I wanted to talk about with you guys. Of course, we all know that in the last few days, Nintendo did announce that following their January 12th event in Tokyo, where they're going to finally reveal what we expect to be most of the final details about the Nintendo Switch, they are also going to be hosting a live Nintendo Treehouse featuring the Nintendo Switch and featuring a lot of the upcoming games. So of course, myself and many other Nintendo fans rejoiced when we heard this news. This was pretty much the most exciting thing any of us could have really wanted or expected coming from Nintendo. Of course, for myself, beyond the fact that I will get to go and play the Nintendo Switch hands-on this coming weekend in New York City, so we'll just put that one aside for now. So beyond that, having a live Nintendo Treehouse focused on the Switch months before it launches and right after the January 12th Tokyo event is like music to our ears. It's Nintendo Christmas, or as some people have jokingly said on the internet, Switchmas, which is a clever play on words. And that's exactly what it feels like, to know that Nintendo is going to be going live to the rest of the world. I don't want to say the American audience, but to the English-speaking audience, I should say. They did have it confirmed, something that I theorized days before it was confirmed, that the January 12th event in Tokyo will not be in English. Definitely kind of lending more credence to my theories about this being more of a business meeting than an exciting press conference meant for the gamers. So it really kind of seems like my theories and my suggestions about what that was supposed to be is turning out to be true. So it's not going to be in English. They're going to have a live English dub happening over it, but that thing is not really meant to be presented to the rest of the world's audience. The Treehouse, the live Treehouse event that we can all expect folks like Reggie and Bill, Miyamoto might be there, Audrey Drake, and a lot of that Treehouse crew, they're going to be there discussing games to us and speaking right to us, right to the gamer, right to the world, not just the Japanese audience and the Japanese business person, and that's going to be really freaking exciting. And so for what it's worth, that's kind of really what I wanted to bring up in this quick video for you guys, is the fact that this Treehouse happening on now January 13th, which I have to say is the day that I'm going to be flying to New York City from my home out here on the West Coast, because of course I'm going to the January 14th invite-only event in New York City, thanks to Nintendo, of course. And on the January 13th, I'm going to be in the airport flying within an hour and a half of the Treehouse starting. So I'm a little bit bummed about that. I don't really know. We don't yet know what to expect from the Treehouse. We don't know how long it's going to go. It very much could be several hours long, or it could be something that's a little bit more condensed that is only 1 or 2 hours long. The only reason I would want the shorter version is because it starts at 6:30 in the morning here where I live on the West Coast of the States, and I have to fly at 8:05, so I'm going to be taking off at 8 o'clock only an hour and a half after it starts. So for me, to know that the thing might be 3 or 4 or 5 hours long or what have you, means I'm going to be missing most of it because I obviously won't be able to watch it while I'm on the plane. And sure, when I land in New York, I'll be able to kind of, just get connected to the internet and watch it from there, and that'll be really exciting, but it would be nice to see most of what they're planning on doing live as it actually happens, as opposed to watching the first hour and a half sitting in an airport on my iPad and then having to get on a plane and then missing the rest of it and thinking on that whole flight, just like, oh God, what is Nintendo showing to the world and all these gamers about the Switch that I'm not able to watch? That part would be really sad. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But anyway, getting back to the topic, what I wanted to discuss was how I really feel like this January 13th, Friday the 13th, by the way, hopefully not a bad omen, this January 13th event, this Treehouse that they're streaming to the world, to me, this is going to be the actual Switch informational news event that we were truly waiting for. Now, this past month and a half, ever since Nintendo announced the January 12th thing, we've all been massively excited for that. We've been expecting that reveal to be the new E3 for Nintendo, and it's going to be everything that we want to see about the Switch. That's when we'll hopefully see the price, the release date, all these different things, a bunch of maybe surprise games and trailers and all this stuff. But as I said in my recent video, I started to realize over the last week that maybe it isn't going to be that. And if this is going to be a business meeting that feels more like PlayStation 4 Pro's event, which was not exciting, suddenly it's going to make people feel very disappointed, which might not be fair to the Switch if the Switch itself still looks awesome. And so the announcement of this Treehouse, to me, kind of really assuaged any fears I had about what was going to happen with January 12th. Because at this point, you guys, I feel like January 12th, it's not going to be completely inconsequential, because I do think that the fine details will come from that, such as the price and the release date and like the the bundles and the packaging, like if there's going to be multiple SKUs or not, and what's going to come in the box. All of those things I think we're going to get on January 12th, regardless of how the presentation's handled. But we, the gamers and the Nintendo fans, yeah, we want the fun stuff. We want the trailers. We want the gameplay demos. We want the new secrets and surprise reveals. That's what we want to know about the Nintendo Switch. And so if the January 12th event is more for the business minds and more just about the hard facts, the price, the date, this and that, that's fine. We're waiting for this Treehouse. I think, you guys, this Treehouse is the event that Nintendo truly meant to unleash on us, and it's what we are supposed to be watching to get excited for. I don't expect to be totally blown away with what's going to happen on January 12th. I would love to be surprised, and, we're obviously all going to watch it regardless, but again, I don't expect a lot of glitz and glam and excitement out of that. The Treehouse thing is going to be incredible. That's where we're going to see, probably more Breath of the Wild, which at this point, it's like, okay, we know it's going to be the greatest game ever. We've seen hours upon hours of it. We only need a little bit of Breath of the Wild stuff at this point to get us excited. We want to see the new stuff. What's happening with that Mario game? Are you going to blow our minds and blow our balls off and be like, hey, here's that Metroid game you've been waiting for? That's definitely what I'm hoping for and crossing my fingers for. Are we going to see new Animal Crossing? Are we going to know what Retro's doing? Are we going to understand the third-party games, what's happening with Skyrim? Are we going to get surprised with announcements of games like Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, maybe Red Dead Redemption 2 or Grand Theft Auto 5? Are we going to get those things? And that's the stuff. Whatever it is that they have planned game-wise for the Switch, a brand new Luigi's Mansion, a new Wave Race, a new F-Zero, these Switch ports of Wii U games, if they're real, that's the stuff that I expect at the Treehouse event on the 13th. So at this point, you guys, just to play it safe and to keep our expectations in check, as I said recently as well, let's not go into the January 12th event expecting a lot of game-related stuff. I feel like it's less gaming and more game console, and it's more speaking to the investors, and about the actual business side of Nintendo. The game side for us is going to be the Treehouse on the 13th, and I think it's the event we really need to keep our eyes on. We'll see how the 12th plays out, but really, let's just all be super pumped for that awesome Treehouse coming to us on Friday the 13th of January. So anyway, I was really excited to talk about this because, of course, I am just ramping up with crazy anticipation. Like, I'm tingling with excitement because I will be flying to New York on Friday to play the Switch hands-on. I'm going to get to hold it in my hand. I'm going to be at Nintendo's invite-only event. Nintendo asked me to be there. That feels so incredible, you guys. And it's going to be awesome to hold that thing in my hand, get an idea of the controllers. What does the Pro Controller feel like? Hopefully we get, the opportunity to test out the docking and then the undocking and kind of see what it's like to switch from gameplay on the TV to gameplay in your hand. That's a lot of the interesting contextual information that I think a lot of us want to really understand a little bit better. The Jimmy Fallon thing, of course, everyone pointed out that little weird moment where Reggie had to pick up the Switch and then he paused for a second and we saw him possibly click a button and we heard like a little noise like he did something which probably activated the game because we assume it pauses when it goes from TV to the Switch. Is that actually true? I want to see if that's true. Will I get to see what the OS actually looks like and see if there's still a Miiverse, and if so, how does it look and operate, and kind of get an idea of what the app system or the OS system for the Switch is going to be? I hope to get my hands on with that stuff beyond just the games. What are the controllers like? What are the games like? What does it mean to switch from TV to your hand? And what does the OS look like? I'd love to get that stuff, as well as maybe meet a few awesome people. I might meet some other YouTubers, some other really well-known internet personalities, people who I like and follow. I'm really hoping to meet someone awesome like my main man, Reggie, but at this point, I'm probably just gushing over nothing, and that might not happen. I don't want to get my expectations up. But anyway, that's why this was a fun topic, to talk about the Treehouse and the January 12th event, because Switch stuff is coming right around the corner, and I am so blessed to be one of a very small group of people who will actually be playing it in less than a week's time. So anyway, what do you guys think about this, the announcement of the Treehouse from Nintendo? Do you think this is more the event we should be paying attention to than the January 12th event? Do you agree with my theories that the 12th event might not be that exciting, more business-minded, less fun? Or do you think that I'm wrong and it's all going to be great and the 12th is going to be just as awesome as the Treehouse? You tell me what you think about all this stuff below. But of course, thanks as always for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule to Review, and I will catch you guys next time on another video.